Oh, so I'm on. I'm on?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the TV. The TV. Alright, hi. I was gonna turn off. Sorry about all of this, but we should be good now. So I'm just gonna hurry up and just start.
Just wrong one.
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna do all bosses except a few ones. It's all good. We have this. Time. This timer, by the way. Start the timer, by the way.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Alright. So, welcome to Dark Souls. Dark Souls, the original, the Prepare to Die edition. So this is not the remastered version that released a few months ago. So this is the original, the good one, from 2011. I'm gonna do a marathon friendly route today, which is pretty cool. There is like even friendlier marathon routes that you can do, but it's like so brain dead of a route that I would rather just do this one. This one should also be a bit faster. It's not world record tier by any mean, but yeah, we don't care about that. So yeah, I started Hunter in this route. I don't start Thief, I don't get Firebomb, so I gotta run away from the Asylum from the first boss. So I can get my gear, I can get the Cookie Shield, I can get my Short Sword, I can get all the shit that I need to kill bosses. Well, at least just a few here. So we equip things during fog gates, because like we can access our menu while we cross any fog gates, so just gonna do that. Also talking to this guy is faster, yes chat. Do not kill this guy. So I'm pretty much gonna like compensate from the commentary that I've done at like ESA for Dark Souls 2, where I like did say a word for like an hour and a half. So I'm probably like I'm just gonna talk as much as I can here. I'm getting a bow here because bows are pretty strong for some very nice glitches that I will explain later. Awesome jump attack, yeah, totally missed the jump attack. I jumped way much to the left. Way too much to the left. So I gotta do some backup strat here. Spam some R2s or heavier damage. So for speedrunning this game, you actually use in-game time. So it would be faster here for me to quit the game instead of watching this door open, but it's slower real time. And while I don't have any problems doing them for actual PB attempt, it's kind of boring to watch for like marathons and stuff, so you just don't do those in marathon. I mean, I'm still gonna do some quit outs, but they will be for like other reasons, mostly for safety. Alright, so that was the first boss, the tutorial. We're gonna get back there though, because you know I'm crazy, so I gotta go back to the Asylum. So I'm gonna get to Undead Parish first, Undead Burg rather. Well, I will get to Undead Parish, but I'm gonna get to Undead Burg first. So like I said, this route is made for marathons. So in the fastest routes, you would do like some skip here to go down, to go to lower Undead Burg, to free some sorcerer and get some spells. But I'm not gonna do that in this route because not only it's kind of RNG heavy to do at the beginning, but also the glitch, the main glitch that you're supposed to use, loses about 2 minutes real time. So, like, it saves in-game time, but it loses real time, so I just don't do it. So instead, I'm just gonna talk to this guy. So I bought the bottomless box. If you're familiar with very old Dark Souls glitches, there was already like a bottomless box duping thing that existed back then. It got patched, and now a new version of a duping glitch got discovered that still like required the bottomless box again. So like the bottomless box, I'm gonna like use the bottomless box in like 30 minutes. Also bought the rapier. That is just as overpowered as the bow, so that's like the same reason I bought the bow. Grabbed the bow. So I need both the bow and the rapier for a glitch later on. Well, later on, like in 5 minutes. So I got some gold pine resin here. That's like a flat buff in this game, so it just adds like a flat amount of damage. So it gets very weak later on, but it's pretty good for early game. So you'll see these bots get kind of melted down by this sword. So So I'm gonna do a strat where I'm gonna attack one-handed first, so I can do more attacks without staggering Taurus. So I can just do 2 R1s here, and now I can two-hand my sword, do 2 extra R1s, and now my next hit will stagger him, so I can just interrupt him. And he's dead. So after that, hopefully I don't mess that up. I mean, I shouldn't, but you know, marathons. I'm gonna try to get the Drake sword, so there's like a huge Drake that is gonna burn all the bridge here in like a few seconds. Spoilers. So the Drake just sits up there, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot him with a bow to force him to go down on the bridge. I'm gonna buff my sword again, and while he breathes fire in front of me where I'm not at anymore, I'm just gonna attack the tail a few times. So I didn't kill the Drake here, I just got a sword. I just cutted his tail. That's like a mechanic that happens in Dark Souls 1, where you can like cut tails of some enemies, some bosses, to, like get hidden weapons. So yeah, this is like a super beginner weapon. Like if you look for tutorials and anything like on how to beat this game for beginners, they'll tell you like, to get the Drake sword. So yeah, speedrunners confirm beginners pretty much. Alright, so just a bit of walking around here, nothing super interesting. There's a boss like right to my left, but I'm gonna go to the right first because I need to get a bonfire. So if you don't know like the pitch of the game, at the very early game, you need to like ring 2 bells in order to open the gates. So it's like a gate that we're going to see right there. So there in the background, there's a huge gate. So you're supposed to ring 2 bells in order to open these gates and to progress. So that's pretty much the very beginning of the game. But we're not gonna fully do that. So I'm gonna ring 1 bell because it's like convenient to do it now. But I'll just get past the gates with a glitch that we'll do later on. I will still ring the second bell, but way later. Well, actually, not that much later in this run. That's later. So I need this elevator for later, so I'm just gonna enter it and exit the elevator before the door closes behind me. Hollow room coming up. There's a strat where you can just YOLO through hollow room, but marathons, so... Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's much better. Marathons, much better. Much safer. Alright, so... The glitch is coming here that I was talking about, so... I missed it. There we go. So, what I just did here is that I managed to two-hand my Drake sword in my left hand. So if you play Dark Souls 1, you know it's not possible. You're not supposed to be able to do that. So now, when I'm going to do a running attack with Drake swords, this one, that's the running attack of the rapier, actually. So we're going to do that for like half of the run. As you can see, it hits twice. So it allows me to use the rapier, which has a very quick moveset, with the Drake sword, which has like a slower moveset, like normally, but way more damage. So I get like both of the. I get the benefit of both, I guess. So here's the first. I guess we used to call it item duplication, but it's not really item duplication. It's just like infinite usage. So I have only 1 homeward bone right now. So, and I'm just gonna do some menuing using the lever animation. And I can use the homeward bone without using it. So it's not an actual duplication because I don't have 2 homeward bones, but I just managed to not consume it. It's important to precise because in this run specifically, I'm gonna do another duplication glitch, which is an actual duplication glitch, but it's a bit later. Mostly running around right now. So this is like what I'm doing right now is one of the things the fastest routes don't do anymore. So there's a glitch that I will show during the glitch exhibition later that I'm just not doing here because it's it makes the whole route super tedious. So, but yeah, now it's just like walking around. So I'm gonna get a ring, the red Tearstone ring. It's like the most overpowered ring in the game. But first, fancy jumps. Yeah, fancy jumps. Ah! too fancy. No big deal. You can just like quit the game like this and just salvage it, so there we go. Alright, it's grabbing the grass crest shield. So right now I just have like a crappy shield, so I'm gonna grab a better one here. And the main benefit that it has is that it increases my stamina regen, so the yellow bar, like the speed at which it regens when I'm not sprinting, like right now, having the shield will make that faster. So I'm pretty much gonna use it like almost all the time. Also here, this elevator is like below, so I just pull the lever to get the elevator to go up, and then I quit the game, because as soon as you pull the lever, then the elevator is up, so you can just quit the game and now it's up. Also, it's like very important to have your menu in that specific order, so that's why I'm like dropping all the useless thing all the time. I need my inventory to be very clean, like to not have a lot of things in it, because otherwise then I can't do my menu properly. Well, it doesn't work. So those are some. So my theory about those guys is that they are actually chickens, because they have wings, but if they fall off the bridge, they die. So lore is like that. They are chickens. So I need to drink. Again here, duplication. I still have only one homeward bone. Alright, so now we're gonna skip the gates, like I explained. So we're gonna do a skip that is called, surprisingly, Sense Gate Skip. Wow. So we're gonna use an enemy right here, and I'm gonna repost him in order to get an animation that makes my body go out of bounds for a bit. And by doing that, I'm gonna enter what we call like a death cam, and that is gonna completely mess up with the camera. As what am I doing? I lost count of the pillars. I'm way too low. I would have died if I do that now. Hopefully that works. Alright. So now the camera is completely messed up, and the controls are messed up as well, which is why I'm using a keyboard right now. So that's why I'm like on a chair. I need to use both the controller and the keyboard at the same time. So what's happening right now is that the game is in a state where I'm supposed to die very soon, but I don't. And in that state, the game stops loading and deloading new assets. So right now there's a bridge right below me, but it doesn't load it. And there's supposed to be the gate that I showed you earlier, but because the game is in this specific state, then it's just not gonna load it. So there we go. I just ran past it. Well, I didn't run past it, it's just not there. So now I can just quit out to fix it. And if I just stir my camera, as you can see, the gate is here. And I've just passed the gate. So that's very useful. It saves like 3 minutes or something, because you would need to ring. So that's what I explained earlier. We would need to ring both bells, and in order to ring the second bell, you would have to do a lot of backtracking. And that's what we used to do for quite a while. But when Sense Gate Skip got discovered, that's removed quite a good amount of time. Sense Fortress, spooky axes. It's actually pretty simple to run through in speedruns, because it's just all about cycles. So as long as you don't mess it up, it's fine. Oh, I didn't. There's a funny snake getting killed here, but I didn't actually look at him dying, because looking at people dying is fun. So there's like, right now there's like a boulder that keeps going down the stairs. So here I would have a boulder in my face, so in order to like just get rid of it, I just quit out. Like quitting out in this game is super strong. I'll do like a few other glitches later on, by the way, that works because I quit out. And here, this is the first time in the run that I'm gonna get hit on purpose, so this is why I'm glowing right now. It's the ring that I picked up earlier, where the chickens were. So the effect of this ring is that when my health is below 20%, this guy is pretty bad. When I'm below 20%, my attack is gonna be increased by 50%. So the attack is just like before the damage is like calculated and stuff. So in practice, like to make it simple, in practice it like increases your damage from like 50 to like 150%. It's like stupidly overpowered. The catch is though that, well, you're below 20% HP, so anything can kill you. Yeah, just don't get hit, lol, forehead. So, again, here, the usual move swap, so doing some maneuvering and... Oh, so here I actually did it too fast. It would be such a great world if you could actually do it a bit as fast as you can, but no, you actually need to slow down to do it. Alright, so again I have the Drake Sword in my left hand, which is not possible. So the way I'm about to kill the next boss is not a glitch, this is intended. Basically you're fighting a boss on a bridge, and you can stagger him by doing 400 damage below his knees. So I'm gonna do 300-ish here, and then I'm gonna wait for him to turn around. And now I'm gonna stagger him, and he's basically just gonna fall off the bridge. So alright, bye bye. And now he's dead. So you don't actually need to kill him, like he just falls off and die. Oh, and here we go, Andalondo. So this is like, if you played this game casually, it probably, and it did to me when I played this game for the first time, it probably took you like around 20 hours to get there. So we are there in like 15 minutes? Yeah. I mean, actually this is not the fastest way you can get there, like, you can get there in like under 10 minutes, but yeah. So right now I still have like a crappy Drake Sword, so I'm gonna start leveling up strength to get, to use a better weapon. So we're gonna use a weapon that is pretty badass called the Dragon Tooth, and spoilers, like the tooth of a dragon. So I need 27 strength in order to use it, so that's what I'm leveling up here. The rest in endurance, because I can. It doesn't really matter the level ups here, because I'm gonna do a glitch later on that gives me like way more levels. So I will be like hundreds of levels higher later on. Alright, so Andalondo can be pretty memey, so I mean I don't want to jinx it, but I could die here on the rafters without really me doing anything wrong. But I'm a god, so it's not gonna happen. Spoiler, like it's RNG. So here you have like to run on some super tiny rafters while having dudes that throw you like throwing knives at the face. So I have to like dodge the throwing knives while not falling off the rafters either. And you don't have enough space to like be like two. So if one of them, okay, he's like going the other side. If one of them like gets on my way, then I can just push them with my rapier. No, they're nice. Alright, this was smooth. I mean, I'm exaggerating, like most of the time it's fine, but yeah. So here I grip the Drake Sword. Hopefully I can show you that because it's pretty cool, but there's like one enemy left. Oh, wow. I wanted to do some maneuvering, but I messed up. So that's like one of the traumatizing places when you play this game for the first time, where there's like archers shooting trees at your face. It's not even arrows at this point anymore. It's like too big to be called an arrow. It's like literally a tree. And sometimes they can just like decide to stand still and keep shooting at you, even though you're like a meter away. So that's why I keep the Drake Sword. I can just push them off. So. Alright, so here I'm actually using some audio cues to know if people are shooting in the back. So, oh, I'm very bad at this game. I never played this game before. Like that. Okay, I managed to dodge it because I heard it. I mean, getting hit was not strats, but yeah. Ouch. Yeah, get hit everywhere, it's fine. Alright, so it's this archer, and look at those arrows, like, what the hell. Yeah, so he's gonna keep oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I'm just gonna... Bye-bye. Alright. Completely planned. This is totally fine. It's fine because here I'm just gonna take a bonfire. So this is slower, obviously, to take, but if I died here, I would have go back all the way to the bonfire, like before the rafters, and that's like 3 or 4 minutes time loss. So I'm just gonna take the bonfire here. So I still don't have my weapon, so I'm gonna pick up the Dragon Tooth now. So this is actually one of the places where I'm getting hit on purpose. I'm also doing a strat called Toggle Escape, so when I get hit by an enemy, I'm just swapping my weapon at the same time, and animation of swapping your weapon has a priority for some reason. If you do it at the same time, then you get hit. So you skip the stagger animation, you just don't get staggered. So now I have the Dragon Tooth. And we can do ONS, which is, you know, a boss that's kind of annoying, but... Also, this jump is super silly, so like you have to go all the way up normally, like fight some dudes on the roof, but no, just like jump over this railing and... Oh, I just like saved 2 minutes with this jump. Oh. Okay, not 2 minutes, like 40 seconds, 50 seconds. So I'm not actually in RTSR range right now, so I'm just gonna take some falling damage to end up below 20% HP. And we're gonna do the same glitch that with the Drake Sword, but with the Dragon Tooth this time. Or we're not gonna do it. Oh, alright. So this is pretty bad, because I'm pretty bad. So I'm just gonna quit out because there are some enemies following me. I keep doing it too fast. There we go. So now I'm gonna get like a different opening here, so it's gonna be a bit awkward. I think I could have gone it actually. Well, whatever. Yeah, damage is... it's okay. Alright, so that was phase 1. Now Smo is like all pissed off. It has like lightning. But with move swap, I can just stagger him. Like, with one attack, I can stagger him, so I can just get him into a stun lock. So he's not doing anything. And there we go. Like per usual, dropping items you won't need anymore. So it was a nice Drake Sword, but it's over now. Also, Piggy 13 stream. Close your eyes. Alright. Alright, so now I acquired the Lord Vessel, which is an item that allows me to warp from bonfires to bonfires. So, because I wasn't able to do that before killing this boss. So right now I'm gonna ring the second bell. But first, because I'm jealous of people with super fancy armors, I'm gonna kick this guy off. So instead of killing him, you just push him off the cliff and he dies. Because gravity is like the strongest enemy in this game. Like gravity one-shots everything. And I do that to get the second most overpowered ring in the game, which is called the Ring of Favor and Protection, or the Fap Ring. Oh, I was supposed to equip the Soul Smoke here. So the same way that I duped Homed Bones earlier, whoops, I'm gonna dupe Boss Souls here. So I only have one Soul Smoke, but I'm just gonna use it multiple times. So mostly right now I'm using melee, so like actual weapons, melee weapons to kill enemies, but eventually this grunt will go to magic. So here is a merchant that is like in a cage, so I'm just gonna buy some spells to him. And most importantly, a sorcerer catalyst. So you need like a special weapon in order to cast sorceries in this game. And you need like a different type of weapon if you want to cast like a miracle. Like there's different type of sorceries, or of spells, I guess. Spell is like a broad word. But yeah, like I need an item because I didn't start sorcerer. I didn't get an item, so I need to go buy it somewhere. It's a bit spooky. So Blighttown drop here. It looks impressive, I guess, but it's actually super easy to do. Just fall off. So falling damage in this game is percentage based, so you always take the same amount. Well, not always, but if a drop is non-lethal, then it will never be lethal, pretty much. But then the actual damage that you can take vary, but yeah, non-lethal is always non-lethal. Also some poison here, so I'm actually... The falling damage that I took here was also planned, and now I'm poisoned, so I'm losing slowly HP. And eventually, when I will reach the boss, my health will be under 20%. So this is an early game boss with a mid game weapon, while having a glitch to double my damage, plus having a ring that is completely overpowered. So damage is starting to get pretty good, but it's nothing yet. It's nothing yet. So Yeah, my RTSR setup is not very good. I'm not gonna be into RTSR range. Oh, never mind. Okay. So yeah. Oh, and good opening. Alright, so she's dead pretty much. So the reason I come here right now is because, so I talked about the gate earlier that I skipped, and I talked about how the glitch that I did skipped it, and how ringing the bells opened the gates. But ringing the bells also has the second side effect, which is to wake up an NPC, and we're gonna need this NPC to do quantity storage, which is a glitch that is gonna break everything. So I rang the bell. Now I need to take this bonfire, because I need to come back later. To avoid some backtracking, I need to come back here later. So I'm just gonna say yes to this guy. And then I'm gonna kick him, because kicking people is cool. Alright. Ah, manuing. Right, so now the NPC that I needed to wake up to do the duplication glitches has woken up, but I still need to buy an item, to get an item that I will duplicate. So the Dragon Tooth that I have right now, it's not upgraded, and to upgrade it you need an upgrade material that is called Dragon Scale, and it's pretty rare, so I'm gonna get only one, but I need 10 of them in order to get my tooth to its maximum upgrade level. So I need first to get one, because right now I have 0. So I need to get one, and then I'm gonna go back to the NPC that I keep talking about. And actually gonna duplicate to not get 10, but 99 of them, because might as well. And that's also where the bottomless box is gonna come into account. So I need the bottomless box that I bought like at the very beginning of the run for that. Also, while I was like explaining stuff to the blacksmith, I bought 999 arrows. So that's for quantity storage. So I guess I will start explaining it right now. I just quit out of this door because I have enemies following me. So in this game, when you buy or sell an item, there is a quantity prompt that opens. And this quantity prompt is unique. It's pretty much the same all the time. I need to level up here. Let me just some endurance. So by opening the prompt to drop the arrows on the floor, it's going to ask you how many do you want to drop. And since you have 999 of them, you have the option to drop 999. And I'm going to store that, and I'm going to do a glitch which allows me to... I only have one soul of Quellback that I can sell for 10,000 souls, but I'm going to sell 999 of them instead, which gives me like a lot of souls. And I'm going to do that multiple times. So I'm going to be completely overpowered very soon TM. Here I equipped a lot of armors because I need to take some falling damage, so I fucked that up. This is not good. I was supposed to jump. It's all good, it's all good. Don't panic. Also here I'm gonna do a plunge glitch. So by plunging, doing a plunging attack on the wall here, I can roll while falling, and I forgot. Improvise. I was supposed to equip bombs. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm dead. I died. Well, I'm not dead, but it's not gonna be a free cycle now. Oh, well, okay. That works too. Can you jump attack? If I throw one last bomb, it should die. Not smooth. So the Hydra is not a boss. As you can see, it doesn't have the health bar. I don't have like a victory message achieved. But actually you need to kill it to access the DLC, which contains bosses. My moves are not on point today. So there is a second Hydra hidden in like a secret area, but I don't need to kill this one. So this is some like quest lines for the DLC. So by killing this golem, now there's a princess coming out of it because lore. I just talk to her because lore. She's happy. I get away. We're good. Alright, so now I'm gonna do the duplication glitch. So I have my bottomless box and I can access it from the bonfire. So I'm gonna put Quillax Soul in it. I was not supposed to open that, okay. And I'm gonna put the dragon scale in it. So I got the dragon scale by killing Hydra. And now I'm gonna talk to the NPC that I kept talking about. By the way, it's like a huge spooky snake with a mustache, because... yeah. Also, first I need to talk to him, otherwise he's gonna be pissed. Like, I could just jump into the hole and not having to talk to him in like faster routes. But in this route, I need to do that. Okay, so now I can come back here. I can talk to him again, he's gonna bring me back up. And now he becomes a merchant. So I'm gonna do the glitch that I explained, so I can view 999 arrows here. And then I'm just gonna do some spicy menuing. And now I can sell 999 Soul of Quillag. And as you can see from my soul counter, it's huge. So I'm getting like, I think it's 1 million? Is it 1 million or 10 millions? I don't remember. It's a lot, it's way too much. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the dragon scale. So now I have 99 of them. And at the same time I use the home and bone. So now is the funny part. So, oops, get my dragon plus 5. Can you? Oh my god. And we're gonna level up a bunch of things. So 23 vitality, 12 attunement, 40 endurance. Attunement is a stat in order to that allows you to get spells. Like the more attunement you have, the more different spells you can have. 45 dexterity, and because we're gonna go magic at some point, then we're just gonna get 99 intelligence. Not broken at all, by the way. And now we're gonna attune the spell that I bought. And here we go, that's pretty much the final level up of the run. So now I'm like insanely overpowered, let's say that. So, like usual, getting hit on purpose to get below 20% HP. So yeah, right now I'm level 210. If you play this game casually, you would probably need to beat this game like 3 or 4 times in a row to like ever get this close from. But no, we're like 210 in the first new game. Like we're not in New Game Plus, so yeah, it's gonna be very strong. It's very strong, but I still use the ring to be below 20% HP. So that's like one of the cool things about Dark Souls 1 that I love. It's that because of the ring that forces you to be below 20% HP all the time, then you're constantly fighting one hit away from death. So even if you're like insanely overpowered, if you do one mistake, then you get one-shotted by the boss and you lose like 2 minutes. Yeah, I know, like saying that you lose 2 minutes from like a single mistake doesn't actually sound like a good thing, but it is, trust me. Or don't. So, a wolf with a sword in his mouth. Nothing unusual. So, one running attack. Oh, I missed. Ah! I missed. Alright. So, I'm gonna go to Adelanto. Oh, wait. Over here. Yeah. So, in order to beat this game without like killing all the bosses, after you get the Lord Vessel, you need to kill the 4 Lords. It's like 4 main bosses that you need to get the soul from, and then only when you get all those 4, you can finish the game. If you know any percent, you know it's not entirely true, but you know this is all bosses, so we're just gonna actually do it. So I'm going there, like I'm going to do one of them right now. The reason I'm doing it right now is because on the way there is a golem that I need to kill, and that golem is going to give me an item that allows me to finally access the DLC. But first, pores. but with armor. So you can just like roll through them. Second boar here, but he's pretty bad at like hitting people, so just. So we're getting some elevators here, so I can just do some menuing while I'm on the elevators. So since I have to wait for it anyways, I can just move up here. So here is the golem that I was talking about. Like it's gonna be on the right. Luckily though, I have like a super strong build, so I mean it's you one-shot him pretty much in almost every route. So he's there. You one-shot him. There we go. And I got the broken pendant. And ouch. So that's the advantage of like being still level 210. Like this would have one-shot me in pretty much any serious speedruns, but because this is a marathon-friendly route, well, I can actually survive this. Alright, so if you played this game very casually, like just a bit, if you like looked about this game, you might even know about this skip. Like this skip is super famous. So normally you're supposed to die on purpose to an upcoming invisible boss and gets teleported to a prison, but we're just gonna do some fancy jumps, hopefully. So I'm jumping on this railing while it's going down. And I messed it up, yeah. Rip. It's okay, I can try again. But yeah, by doing that, I skip dying on purpose to the boss. Oh, okay. So this is a very good game, so I actually have to die. So, there's a thing in this game called infinite fall loop, and, well, it's that. So you quit the game, you reload, you fall. Like, there's... It's just, you know, you're not dead, but you're dead, because you can quit the game again and again if you want. Like, you can quit out as much as you want, but every time you respawn, you just fall instantly, so... That's what I get for being bad at video games and actually failing to skip. So yeah, we're just gonna go back there again. Because, you know, walking into empty hallways with boars is like the best thing we can do in this game. So yeah, if I was actually good at this game, I could do Duke skip and skip dying to the boss, getting warped to the prison, and then you need to like go out of the prison, you need to like kill some dudes, pull a lever, and then finally a door opens, and then finally you can exit, and it takes like 4 minutes. So you can just skip doing that entirely. Sorry, I can just do some meme shit with my shield. Yeah, hold him. So I don't need to kill the golem again, because I already killed him, so I already got the item. Still bad at hitting people. So now the elevator is up, so I'm gonna have to like pull the lever. And same thing with the other elevator, like super early into the run, I'm just gonna quit out. Because as soon as I pull the lever, then the elevator's down, so. Hey, it's back. So hit that. 37. So I don't need to like boost up again, just keep my shield. Also I lost all my souls, but it's still very important. I mean, if I can get them back, then why not? They might be on the blue spot. No, they're not. Okay. Oh, they're probably gonna be up there. I'm gonna get them. It makes like some menuing kind of pointless. Because otherwise you like to like pay attention to how much. Because I'm gonna buy some items to an NPC later on, and in actual serious speedruns you have to be careful of how much you buy. Because you don't have like infinite and raw souls, but... Oh no, it's not there? Okay. Well, I guess it's gone. Alright, let's try it. And first try. Every try. So this is like an upper level of the Duke's Archives, so you're not supposed to be there that early. But it's fine. So there's a thing in this game, it's like you cannot... I get to be... You cannot warp to any bonfires. Like you can warp from any bonfires, but you cannot warp to any bonfires. So that's like one of the reasons here you can't really take safety bonfires, because if you do that, then I'm gonna lose which bonfire currently is my last bonfire, which is also the one that Homer's Bone will warp me back to. So if I rested, I would lose that, and I would have to backtrack everything again. Because the bonfire that I have currently is not warpable, so I would have to walk there. Also, I know I'm gonna get bullied in the chat for what I'm about to do, but... So because of the remastered version, I changed... Because it's like behaving slightly differently, I changed the setup for the drop that I'm doing here, and it's kind of not working, so I'm just gonna do the super safe drop that is like slow. So you're supposed to like drop on the left here, it's fancy, it's fast, but I'm just gonna walk around. Bully me as much as you want, chat. It's not enough. It's not even. It's not even enough, I think. Oh, it is enough. Okay. Also, this is not a glitch. This is intended. Invisible bridge. Like you're supposed to be able to tell because there's like sparkles that just hit the bridge. Okay, they just explode against the bridge. But yeah, this is just totally intended. All right, so the next boss, reminders, like in the lore, it's like a super powerful ancient dragon. That's like one of the most dangerous enemy in the entire game. We're gonna kill him in 2 hits, no big deal. Also, I need to do some pathing here because those clams can follow me into the boss fight. So I'm doing some pathing here to have them to attack, and then hopefully when I get there, then there won't be there. So I need to shoot this crystal because otherwise the dragon is invincible. Then I do the glitch, and 1 hit. Also, I need to actually wait for the victory message to appear for the boss to be dead. So now I got it. So that's why, like, you might be wondering, like, oh, the HP is like to 0. You could have leave already. If you do that, then if you come back, then the boss is still here. Alright, the upcoming boss is literally the only reason I leveled up Dexterity in this run. So Dexterity is supposed to be, well, the main reason people level up Dexterity is to use weapon that requires Dexterity. For example, like a katana or a halberd. But it also increases the speed at which you cast the spells. And the spell that I have right now, Heavy Soul Arrow, is normally very, very slow. But because I have 45 Dexterity, it's like pretty... not double the speed, but it's super fast. Also, because I have 99 Intelligence, which is like the maximum of intelligence you can get, this guy dies like 5 hits. Like 5 hits is not very little, but... Alright, 1 more. Oh, okay, good. Alright, so now it's time for the DLC. So I've done everything needed for accessing the DLC, because up until now it just wasn't accessible. So now I can get there. So it's back where the Hydra was, the entrance. Also, you may notice my health is at 50% right now, it's like halved. So that's like, when I killed the Hydra, I got a ring, that is called the Dusk Ring. And the side effect is that, as you can see, I have 18 Heavy Soul Arrow on the bottom left, while I'm supposed to only have 12. So it increases the amount of spell that I have by 50%, but I don't really care about that, I just want my health to be halved. Because now I can just take this jump without having to worry about my weight, and it will just be good enough. Also, same thing here, we give the plunge. Well, now I'm not in Archie's range, but as soon as I swap it here, like that, I'm not. So there's like what we call the Dutch Guardian upcoming. So if you're from Netherlands, you get bad RNG for the next boss. That's as far as we know in the community, that's how it works. But we need like further more testing. So hopefully the Guardian doesn't think I'm from Netherlands. So it's like a mix of like multiple animals. I forgot about the words, like what it's actually called. Alright, cool. That's perfect RNG pretty much. And he's dead. Alright, so here I'm gonna... Yeah, okay, let's just YOLO a bit. So if I die here, I'm gonna be going all the way back to the forest, but I'm not gonna die. Easy. So I'm not gonna take this bonfire. Instead, I'm just gonna talk to a mushroom, because talking to mushrooms is cool. So, hi. Gonna ask me a question? Yes.
Thank you.
And here I'm buying Hidden Body. So Hidden Body is a spell that decreases the range, the aggro range of enemies. So they can still see you, but you need to get way closer to them in order for them to see you. So it's very useful, especially in the DLC, because there's some places where there's some enemies that see you from super far away. Also here I'm quitting out because there's like some enemies that will follow me. So I'll just quit the game and they're gone. Alright, so upcoming is Royal Woodskip. So this is the Royal Woods. You're supposed to go on the left and walk all the way around. And where I'm going, it's a shortcut that you normally can only take from the other side. But we're going to do the same thing as I did on my way to Hydra and on my way to Guardian. I'm going to do a plunge in order to be able to roll the falling damage. So what happens is pretty much you're doing a lethal fall, but dying from a lethal fall is just damage. So if you roll and you have invisibility frames while you roll, then you just don't take the damage. So I hit the thing, I roll, and that's what happened. Alright, so here I'm just gonna buy some weed, some Homemade Bones, voice side sweets. Alright, so the Blossoms is doing pretty much the same thing as the Grass Crystal does, but it's a consumable that lasts 30 seconds, and it's way more effective. I'm gonna play this boss a bit safe. So on like every boss, like for now on, well for melee bosses, I'm just gonna use that. Alright, so I could go for like a risky attack here and kill him in 2 hits, but I'm just not gonna do it, because it's a bit safer. And because, oh no, I'm killing in 3 hits instead, oh no. What a disaster. I pressed R1 the extra time. Alright, so YOLOing the DLC paid off. So like I said, I'm already super powerful, so I don't need to like level up or anything. I'm just gonna attune the spell I just bought, although I'm not gonna use it right now, but... Yeah, so like if you watch the fastest routes, you do way more things, like... Some bosses take way more hits, and then when you kill a boss, you need to upgrade that weapon, and then you need to level that up, and... But in this route, you do just everything at once, so... Because you dupe all the weapons, you dupe all the souls, so you're like super overpowered, like 30 minutes in, and now you just like... The rest, like, you just need to kill the bosses very much. You just walk around and kill bosses. You don't really do anything anymore. So, there's like a hidden boss, like, called Calamite. Also, I should stop saying so at the start of the sentence, that was nice. And in order to get there, you need to trigger an event here. So by just going there, an event is gonna happen where the dragon, so Calamite is like a dragon, it's just gonna come down and visit us. And by doing that, then an NPC will talk to me, because otherwise he wouldn't talk to me. Well, he wouldn't talk to me about that. So now, like, the dragon is here, is pissed, I guess. So I'm just gonna wait, and as soon as I see that he's gone, like, behind the wall, I can just leave. And now I'm just gonna do, like, another boss. I will just come back later. So, the Olistal Township is like a place where you can do a lot of skips if you do the fastest routes, but I didn't do the fastest route. So this elevator, for example, you could just fall into it, but I need a spell called Fall Control to survive it, so I couldn't do it. So you have to walk around all the way. Also, as you can see, my body is hidden body. So enemies still see me, like they end up attacking me, but way later. Like, this guy would have attacked me already, or girl, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to offend anyone. So I went to the dragon, I visited him. Now I need to get a key. So the NPC that will now talk to me is hidden behind a locked door. And in order to get past that door, I need to get a key that is inside this chest. Although this is amazing. This is, wow. This is absolutely okay. So this is what we call a 1% meme. I'm actually not even mad of dying like that. Like that happens never, pretty much. That's like probably like the second time ever that I died like this, and I've run this game for like 4 years, so awesome. Yeah, so Hidden Body, the spell that I'm using, only lasts for 30 seconds, and the spell runs out when I started climbing up the stairs. So some of the enemies downstairs saw me, and while I was rolling off the plank, I got like an enemy to do a range attack with the perfect timing to hit me at the perfect pixel to like, oh man, it's actually so much talent. Like, how can you be mad at this? Like, it's, I mean, yeah, I'm losing like 4 minutes, but who cares? So let's do all of that again. I guess I'm just gonna heal because I should be able to survive. So it's like, I think it's this one over there, up there, that saw me. Because now I don't have a hidden body anymore, so I could just cast it again because I'm not gonna play, like, I'm gonna play safe and get the extra cast again. Alright, let's just heal, I guess. Oh, almost again. Alright, so this is a mimic. In this game, even chests can kill you. So there's like an enemy that is pretending to be a chest. So if you try to open the chest, then the chest eats you. Because, you know, Dark Souls is hard. But I threw a consumable at it that just made him fall asleep. And just opened the mouth, and I can grab the item that is inside the chest without killing it. So I got the key that I needed. Also, this is the key. Yeah, so this bridge is the reason you get hidden body. Those enemies can like one-shot you pretty much at like any health. But they just didn't attack because my body was hidden. Also here, elevator. Again, I need to get it up, so I'm just gonna quit out. Alright, so I said I would go to magic, but right now I only have crappy spells, because like hidden body is cool, but you know, it doesn't damage enemies a lot. So I'm gonna grab the most overpowered sorceries in this game called Dark Bead. So it's like right over there. I'm not gonna use it though in the DLC, because the DLC itself is pretty resistant to dark magic, so you don't use dark magic against them. So we cast hidden body because there's like a lot of enemies running around. And it's like the item that we can see glowing over there. I'm just gonna kill the sorcerer because the sorcerer is like hits hard. While I'm gonna try to kill the sorcerer. No panic, no panic. Okay, I'm panicking. Yeah, it's okay. That's why I take the bonfire. So in the fastest route you would one-shot this guy, but in this route I don't. So happens. It's okay. I'm just here. Alright, let's try again. I shouldn't... I should take the thing like wider on the left. Because like that monkey here doesn't matter too much if I aggro him in like other routes, but in this one... Now I just cast it again. There we go. I can grab it. Darkly. Alright. I'm gonna set up my health in order to get under 20% HP later on. I am very dumb. Why do I quit out? Oh, but I don't have a brain. Alright. All or nothing. I was supposed to cast Hidden Body, so those enemies. But it's mostly the one on the back. Alright, YOLO. Oh, okay. Spooky. Alright, so it was not smooth. I did it though. This is not... I'm not under 20% HP. Okay, I'm like 20.003. Awesome. Can I even take falling damage here? Like, no, that's... Yeah, that's... Okay, okay, let's just do it. Yes, those enemies, they don't attack you, they just walk into you and they damage you when you walk into them. So, and they do like a lot of damage. They're very slow, but if there's a lot of them, it can be spooky. You're just gonna heal again, get half HP, jump, and hopefully this time I'm below 20%. There we go. Okay, Manus coming up, so that's like the third boss of the DLC. So it's like one of the most awesome bosses in this game. His design is so cool. Oh, that's a very bad attack. So that's the rain. Just run away and lose like 20 seconds. Fine, let's just go for it. Okay, so now we grabbed Darkbead, we killed Manus, we got the key for the NPC, so we can do everything we need for the last boss from the DLC. It's gonna be a lot of walking around though, because I need to just get to the NPC first, which takes a bit, and then after that I need to get back to the arena where I went for the first time, like a few minutes ago. Unfortunately, like I need to skip cutscenes, but this is one of the coolest cutscenes in the game. Because Calamit's like a dragon that can fly and is like smart, so he keeps flying because he knows that if he's flying, then you can kill him. And this guy's an archer, so by talking to him, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you," and he's gonna shoot the dragon while he's flying. So here's a tiny bow. So I'm skipping some dialogue. Now he's asking me like, "Oh, do you need some help?" I say yes. Do you really need some help? I say yes again. Now there's a cutscene. I skip it. Now the boss is fightable. You can technically beat Calamite without the help of the NPC, but it takes like 50 minutes or something, and you need to just shoot one arrow and then get a hit, and it like removes 80% of your HP. You heal, and then you shoot one arrow, and then you get hits. You heal, and you do that for 15 minutes or something like this, and eventually he will die. But obviously that's kind of slow. So you will see you fighting Calamite that he has like an arrow just going through his body. That's the NPC that shot it. First we need to avoid some dogs though. Yes, we got dogs. Yeah, dogs. Frank Z. Now there's a fog gate. Like for the first time I arrived here, there was no fog gates, which indicates that the boss was not activated. So now there's a fog gate. I think I'll actually fight him. And because my weapon is super strong, he's gonna die in 3 hits, not 2. Unfortunately. Bad opening. That's some terrible attacks. It's okay. Well, I mean, it's slow. Holy shit. This is very slow. Oof. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I should be dead. Alright. So we're done with the melee. So we're not going to use the Dragon Tooth anymore. So that was the DLC. We killed all the DLC bosses. So now we need to do all the remaining bosses in the original game. So now we can leave the DLC. I'm gonna tune Darkbead because right now it's still not even attuned. They still only have Heavy Soul Arrow and Hidden Body. I don't need Heavy Soul Arrow anymore, so... Right now we're doing like the Fireling Squad, how we call it. Because there's a bunch of bosses that are like around this bonfire. So I'm just gonna do all of them. If you play this game casually and you didn't have the Master Key, the upcoming boss probably like gave you nightmares. Now I jinxed it, I'm gonna die to it. I'm supposed to cast him, buddy. Put the Dusk Ring. I'm gonna kill this guy and do some fancy jump. Like this. So that skips going all the way to on that bird, like lower that bird. Don't kill me. Okay. This is very good. Yeah. I'm just gonna try it. I was not on my catalyst. I didn't have my catalyst in my hand. Good job, Capitaine. This is even worse now, because, okay. Panic. Panic! Alright, let's just improvise. Yeah. Totally fine. Totally fine. We should be good. Okay, the boss is dead. I'm outside of the boss fight. Not even scary. Easy every time. Whew. That's what I get for making fun of him before fighting him. Or one thing that could be nice here, so there's a crash here that can happen. Because this game is coded like... Well, it's coded, I guess. So if my game crash... Okay, no crash. Like, this is one of the multiple entrance to Blighttown, so where I fought Quillag, like the spider lady. So you can go through these gates, but we didn't do that. Like, this game is open world and has like a lot of options at the start. Like, technically, if you include glitches, you can kill... Like, there's 26 bosses in the game. I think you can kill something like 15 different boss as your first boss, your very first boss that you kill. You can like kill 15 of them. So again, this is an Asian dragon. Let's just two-shot him. So this is why we get Dark Bead. Alright, that was not smooth of like 2 splits, but we did it. Oh, also, do you have sound on the head on the? Do you guys hear the game? Listen to that. Voice actor. So much talent. I just lost like 5 seconds doing that. It's totally worth it. So I'm talking a lot. It's super heavy, like it's super hot in this room. So I'm just gonna pretend to be an egg for 20 seconds so I can drink a bit. Alright, just sit there. This is the way to go back to the asylum. So this is the very, very first area of the game. There's not only a boss in it, but there's also an item that allows me to go to another optional boss. So it's like 2 optional bosses like hidden one after the other. So this is like the very first place, but this time the floor is just gonna collapse. You can actually see this boss like as soon as you start the game. You leave the cell and on your right, this guy. I don't do like a lot of damage here, so I actually need to wait for him. Like other routes, you could kill him before he attacks. I mean, that'll do a lot of damage. 3 shots, you know. Also, hopefully this goes well. I really hate killing this Black Knight, so I'm just gonna avoid him. So it's gonna be a bit spooky when I use my homeward bone. Like I just grab that, I turn around, and then... Okay. Alright, we could drop back the Dragon Tooth for some plunging attacks. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't specify it, but the plunging attack glitches that I did earlier, so in the DLC and on my way to Guardian, the amount of time you have to roll depends on the weapon you use, and the Dragon Tooth is like part of the weapons that have like the easiest, so that's why I'm gonna equip the Dragon Tooth again here, just so I can do the plunge again. Like technically you can do it with the fist, but it's like different setups because it doesn't work the same way because you don't have enough time, and you know, so just do it the easy way. Here is one of the very few quit outs that I'm gonna only do like to like I mean, it's not only for skipping the ouch. It's not only for skipping the animation, but there is some skeletons that woke up when I run past them. So doing that just make them fall back again on the floor. So now they shouldn't bother me. Alright, so we cast Hidden Buddy here. We switch it to Dragon Tooth, and hopefully we do some fancy jumps. We plunge. And I'm dead because I got bamboozled. Yeah. Like there is some flying skulls in the catacombs, and I just bounced out of him. Or I'm just not gonna go for the plunge this time. It's super fancy to do. It's not hard. It saves like a few seconds. I can just walk around. It's fine. So I'm just gonna remove the Dragon Tooth, put the Rapier. I don't really need a Rapier. Nah. Rip Bible Thump. 105? Yeah, we're good. So I don't need to pull the lever again, because now, like the lever was to open a door. The door is opened. Also, we have the 10,000 IQ pinwheel fight coming up. Because in most of the routes, you either killing him in like one-shots, like one-shot him. But in this route, you barely don't. So I'm actually going to use my catalyst, which is like an item that you're supposed to use to like cast a spell with it, not actually hit people. But you can hit people with it. It deals absolutely no damage, but you can. Okay. We're gonna heal. Oh, I almost got bamboozled again. That was close from God Gamer Skeleton. Alright, we press R1, 99% of the HP gone. R2, and everything. Yes! Without punching him with the tiny catalyst punch, he would have survived. Pretty spooky area in your first playthrough, because it's all dark. But you don't need to see where you're going, if you know where you're going.
Dark Soul.
Oh, I get it. Oh, because it's dark in the tile. Oh. So do some fancy jumps. Looks like you're jumping into nothingness, but actually it's all fine. Looks like you're falling off a cliff, but actually no. There's some skeleton dogs. Some fog gates. We're good. Upcoming is Nito. So Nito is one of the 4 lords that I was talking about earlier. So Sif, the ancient dragon that I killed in 2 hits, was one of them. Nito is a second one. And I still need to kill 2 others. For a total of 4. Well, I also need to kill all the optional bosses. Like Capra Demon and the Gaping Dragon were optional bosses. But this is all bosses, so I gotta kill all the bosses. So, you know, Pinwheel, it was a boss. Yeah, super hard, but now they're just like throwing 10 at you. So like 2 minutes ago it was a boss, and now it's just like a trash mob. Like, there's just a bunch hanging around here. Like it's nothing. And actually, like seriously, there's just scariest enemies downstairs. It's like baby skeletons. It's so spooky. It's like skeletons the size of a baby. Oh, it's just... Luckily you never see them. It's... Dark beat here. So Nito has some peasants around, like those skeletons around. They're not the boss, but they can attack you. But thanks to Hidden Body, they just don't see me. Oh, I need to remove Top Ring. Okay, now I'm gonna do one of the 4 lords. And upcoming is the Seal Skip. So the area where the Four Kings are is like... Swap the ring. The area where the Four Kings are is like below the water. So you're supposed to go through the Nulon the runes and drain the water away so you can walk through that. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do a slow put out. So when you do a lethal fall in this game, the frame you hit the floor, you die. So the frame you hit the floor, you can't quit the game anymore because you're dead. However, I don't have art. Okay, hit me. Okay. However, if you do a lethal fall, but you fall on a slope, for some reason the game will delay the amount of time it takes to like kill you. So you can hit the ground and quit the game before the game actually kills you. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to walk slightly against the edge and quit the game as I hit the floor. So I'm going to need my keyboard for that. So. I quit it up too early, I think. You can do that with the controller, but like it's a no-brainer to do it with. Yeah, too early. There we go. So now I'm below the sea. The second jump is just to get out of bounds. So the hilarious thing is that if you actually do lower the seal, you can still just casually roll out of bounds like this. So right now I'm out of bounds. There's no kill box, there's no barriers. It's literally just you roll. And the forking arena is like a huge plane that is below the Nulon runes. So I can actually drop from out of bounds and still land into the forkings fights, although I'm not entering through the conventional entries. So I'm in the abyss, so we see absolutely nothing. So that's why I dropped an item on the floor here. It's so I can see where the next king is going to spawn. So the boss is called Four Kings, but actually the bosses share their health bar. So you can overkill one king in order to do so much damage that you only kill two. So in speedruns, killing two is like the common one. Like you pretty much every speedrun kill two of them. You can kill only one of them, but it like requires builds that are so strong that it's not viable for most of the categories. Technically, you can do like 3, 4, 5, 6. Like there's a huge amount of numbers you can do. They're dead. Alright, I already rang the bell earlier, so now I can just warp back. So we're going back to where I was like 40 minutes ago, something like that. So this is like the place where I kicked the egg dude. I'm gonna take this bonfire because I need to warp back here. That's like one of the time loss of this. You need to take this bonfire. Because like I explained, not every bonfires are warpable. And all of the other bonfires here are not warpable. So you need to like go through this illusory wall, talk to that guy, kick him out of the way, and rest at the bonfire, because otherwise you can't warp back. So like this bonfire, for example, is just useless. Like usual, we set up RTSR. And this is gonna be... Well, I could not die here, but I'm very most likely gonna die, so it's a double KO with the boss. If the boss decides to do a very slow attack, I can survive, but I'm just gonna cast 3 Dark Beads. And because Dark Beads is like a projectile that needs to like, takes time to travel from you to the boss, then if I die before the boss is dead, but then the beads travel and kill him, then the kill still counts. So I'm most likely gonna die here, but it's intended. Because I don't need my souls anyways anymore. And casually there's a cheese strat you can do where like you can bait him all the way back to the fog gate and you just punch him a few times and he dies, but it's very slow. So instead we just... Yeah, double kill. So I get the "you died" message, but right before the loading screen appears, there's the victory message that appears. So the boss. So that counts. Alright, that's... Now we have one of the coolest looking skip. So this is the fire stage of the clip. So the game, how the game works to loading assets is that it's gonna load the area that you're in first, and then it's gonna load the adjacent areas later. And the elevator that I'm standing on right now, it's actually not part of the area that I'm in. So by quitting the game over and over again, my position keeps moving backward a tiny bit each time. And eventually, I'm just gonna fall through the hole before the actual elevator is here. So I'm gonna do a huge lethal fall, but luckily, Fire Sage is here. So thanks to Fire Sage, I just land on his face. He doesn't even react, because I didn't enter from the fog gates. So I just press R1 a few times, and he's dead. So I think that's like one of the coolest looking skip, and it's like super badass. Technically I don't need this bonfire, but I only have 2 dark beads left. And in this route, even if I'm like 2-shotting bosses, believe it or not, but actually my damage is pretty low by like speedrun standards. So killing the next boss in only 2 dark beads will be a bit tricky. Oh, okay. I never played this game before. I'm supposed to jump on this branch. Now I remember. Okay. That's how you do things. Trials and errors. Just it's no big deal, guys. It's okay. Just a few seconds gone. Damn. So I'm supposed to jump here. Hey. Well, now I don't. God damn it. Let's just pretend that this was perfectly smooth. Alright, this is Centipedes. He's like on lava. Standing on the lava. So I can't get close to him, but it's okay, I don't need to get close to him. So I'm just gonna snipe him. Oh, that's terrible aim. And by killing him, I get the orange charge ring. And this ring allows me to walk on lava as well. Well, technically I still take damage, but I take like absolutely no damage. So right before I start running on the lava, I should equip it, and now I take like almost no damage. So this is the part where I should like make jokes about sunglasses and textures, but I personally don't mind. I don't know, I guess I'm blind. But yeah, so this is, if you put like, this is the area that is notorious to be kind of rushed. So there is like, this is half dragons. This is like the bottom part of dragons. Like it's the part, the tail, and that's it. It's just like dragon butts, and there's like 50 of them, and you don't have to kill them. Just like run past them because reasons. Like I don't really know why. And I go there because at the very end there is one of the only remaining lords that I didn't kill. So I killed Seath, the ancient dragon. I killed Nito. I killed the 4 kings, and now I need to kill the Bed of Chaos, which is the last one. Luckily, speedrunners found some nice convenient strat to fight this dude a while ago already. So that's called Talkie Bombs. So the way the boss works, like a gimmick boss, you can't actually damage the boss until, like, there's 2 orbs on the right. I mean, one on the right, one on the left. So you're supposed to go on the right, break the orb, and then go on the left, break the orb. And then you can only go in the center and actually kill the boss that actually only has like 10 HP or something like this. And the joke is that the floor can collapse below your knees and you just get one-shotted by gravity. It's like super dumb. So it's like a terrible boss. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stand in the center straight away, and we're gonna throw bombs from each side to break the orbs from the center. So that's why I need. Oh, I didn't cross the point. That's why I need a bow. I just need the bow to aim, so I don't need this ring. I need to equip bombs. How much bones again? There we go. Alright, so like you can see the 2 orbs on the right. We're not going there, just in the center. Also, I'm using a green blossom here because I can. So we aim on the right, throw a bomb. That triggers a cutscene that shows that the orb is destroyed. Now we shoot on the left. We get another cutscene, and now we can go down. This strat is like a lifesaver. It's so good. Because fighting this boss is legit, just not fun. And that also saves like 2 minutes. It's also a good thing. Alright, so we only have 3 bosses left. We have the Analondo, the Dark Analondo bosses. When I acquired the Lord Vessel, I like shot the lady with big boobs, and now everything is dark. And that allows me to access an optional boss, because otherwise you can't access this optional boss by grabbing a ring hidden in the catacombs. But you can just do that instead. Get there. 119. Oh god. So again, like usual, falling damage. Oh, that's a lot actually. That should be good. Yeah, it should be. The upcoming boss is one of the most RNG bosses in the game. It has like 3 attacks. No, 2. Yeah, 3 attacks, and only one of them you can punish it. So you pretty much just wait for him to do the attack. If he doesn't, then oh, too bad. But that's a nice run you had there. Oh, let me just lose 30 seconds. And also you do that at the very, very end of the run. So I only have 3 bosses left, with this one included. So like you can arrive here, you're 2 minutes ahead, and you finish the boss, and you're like 30 seconds ahead. I need to ring swap again. Equip back RTSR. So the gimmick of this boss is that it's supposed to be like an infinite hallway, so as if you get too close, he just warps back. It's actually not infinite. If you just keep walking and make him teleport for like 20 minutes, it will eventually end. But yeah. So this is a bad attack, so I just need to wait. This is a bad attack, I need to roll it. That's the good attack. So that was pretty okay RNG. And now I can punish it. But if he doesn't give me the arrows, then I can just lose so much time. Alright, remember when I went back to the asylum, like Hilda pretended to be an egg? Well, that's where I grabbed the peculiar doll, which is a key that allows me to enter probably one or if not the coolest area in the game, which is called the Painted World. According to like all the interviews and stuff, that's like one of the very first area they started working on, although it's like an optional area now. But it's very, very cool. And the gimmick of that world is that as soon as you enter it, you're stuck in it. You cannot leave it until you go to the end, and at the end you either kill the boss or you just walk away. You can just like ignore the boss. Like the boss is like not attacking you at first, and he's just telling you leave. And you can like, okay, and you're out of the Painted World. So it's like an isolated place. You cannot warp to it, you cannot warp away from it. The only way to get in is to walk to the painting, and the only way to get out is to like reach the end. Also, that's one of the places where you can really see that hidden body is super useful, because like those enemies, they just don't ignore me, like they just don't notice me. Here there's like 3 more, 4 more. Like they do end up noticing me, but it's too late. Also, there is a silly looking skip that I can do here. They just like, so there's a bridge here with a dragon on top of it, but on the side for some reason there's collision, like invisible ledges. So I can just drop here, and I land on an invisible ledge, and there we go. I skipped like the whole level. Also, I need my rapier here, because those guys are archers and they will eventually notice me, so I need to kill them. There is an infamous glitch at this boss that is called the Moan glitch. It cannot happen in this route because I'm not going to one-shot the boss upcoming here. But you can soft-lock your game if you do enough damage with Dark Bead. As far as I know, it only works with Dark Bead. You can soft-lock your game by one-shotting this boss, and it's both going to moan as an opening, because when you kill the boss, it moans at the end. But the boss is not going to start, it's kind of weird. So you're like stuck. Why did I skip the dialogue? I was not supposed to skip the dialogue. Alright, so now it's invisible. I'm just gonna walk for footsteps on the snow. Oh, it's over there. That was not smooth. And we should be good. So we only have the final boss left now. Going back to Filing Shrine, that's where... No, that's... not... I don't want to leave the bonfire. Sit at the bonfire. Thank you. I didn't forget any boss, right? I don't think so. No, 124. Okay. So this one is pretty bad, by the way, but that's why we have huge estimates. So this gate is closed, you sit at the bonfire, you offer the Lord Souls. So now I'm offering the 4 bosses, like the 4 important bosses that you need to kill, and not the door openers. In any pursuit you don't do that at all, obviously. Like, you don't actually need to kill the 4 lords. You can beat this game in 20 minutes. But yeah, it's boring, so I don't do that here. So, spoilers, but this is the final area of the game. I'm gonna run on the right here, because I want this guy to do a running attack. And then I'm gonna walk back into it, like that. And that puts me into RTSR range. And now we just have a few Black Knights to avoid. They can be pretty spooky, especially this one. Okay. I would like say things about the final boss, but yeah, we had a all bosses speedrun at ESA a few days ago, and the runner died to the final boss, so I'm just not gonna say anything. It's a bit unconventional, like it's a bit weird how I'm gonna kill him, because I'm gonna kill him in 3 hits, so it's gonna look like the boss has a chance, and it's like he's like about to kill me, but it's just gonna jump away. But I'm gonna kill him while he jumps away anyways. Also, this guy is very bad. Like, he's just like unable to hit me. Alright, let's go. So 1 repost. Now I'll do the second one, he jumps away, and the third one goes away. Time when the credits rolls. Time. Well, that was bad. I did a run like 2 days ago, yesterday, and it was 1:18 real time, so it's like 8 minutes slower. But it shows how large my estimate was, because in Dark Souls, like, depending on where you die to a boss, you can just lose 5 minutes. I'm just gonna skip the credits and check the in-game time real quick. So we're not using real time to time the runs. So this run on the leaderboards, here we go, would be a 1:21:40. So it's still not very good, but yeah. But yeah, that was all bosses in Dark Souls. I still have a glitch exhibition coming, so I have a few things set up, ready for that. So I don't know if I could just go straight or... No, I can go just straight away. Alright. Just like, I guess put a timer for... It's like 15 minutes. So yeah, this was pretty broken already, but there is way more stupid that you can do in this game. So wait, I need to load some save files though. So I have my leaked. Okay. So I have that.
Discord exposed.
Yeah. I have that. So I'm using the DS gadget. This is like a cheating tool that you use to like practice and stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the crossbow headshots. So this is a very... So I guess you can start the timer.
Just give me a countdown just for a little.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we saw move swap during the run, while we could just swap a moveset of a weapon on another one, but you can do something super silly where if you move swap with a crossbow, so I'm gonna put a crossbow in my right hand, In my left hand. Wait, no, I put it in the right hand, sorry. Like that. And then on my left hand, I'm gonna move swap a weapon. Like that. And now I'm two-handing the Black Knight Greatsword in my left hand, but when I'm gonna do the running attack, it's gonna try to do the running attack of the crossbow. But because I don't have the stats, I just fall down. So it looks very silly like that, and it looks like a headshot. It looks like I'm getting headshots, but this is actually the normal animation that happens on crossbows when you don't have enough strength to use them. But here it just looks super silly because like you're just running around like, let's try to kill this dude and bonk. It's just like running into walls and it hurts. Ouch. That's one of the first silly things that I like to show. That's nothing. But first I'm going to show a few, so this is an outdated skip, it's called the Egg Out of Bounds. So this skip got replaced by the Fire Sage elevator clip that I showed earlier today. Oh no, that's Left Out of Bounds. No. I want the Egg Out of Bounds first. Sorry for the huge white screens, it's just, this game is not very smooth when you alt-tab out of it, but... Alright, so, we are here. So now you can just like clip through this elevator, right? But before that, we were just bullying this guy. So I'm just gonna hit this guy, so he aggroes me. Now I'm gonna wait for him a bit. I have full control, so that's a spell to like cancel my falling damage. For some reason it's required, I don't really know why. And now I'm just gonna bully this guy a bit. Just kick him a bit. And this guy has a grab attack, so he can just grab you and get some eggs in your face. And I'm gonna try to do this attack while he's like leaning forward in such a way that the grab connection is like below the floor. That's not the attack. He's not behaving. He's not behaving at all. I bragged about this skip being consistent a few days ago, so that's what I get for it. There we go. And while he grabs me, because the point at which he grabs me is below the floor, then I just clip out of bounds. So you kill one fewer boss with this, because you don't kill Fire Sage, so Fire Sage is like hanging around there. But with this skip, you can just drop all the way down to here. I'm gonna heal. And this is the Centipede Demon fights you may recognize from earlier. This skip was never used in all bosses, by the way, because obviously it skips a boss. You don't want to skip bosses in all bosses. I wanted to take this safely. That was not safe. And now if you just walk closer to Fog Gate, then the boss fight activates. So now you can like fight the boss. So that's like the old skip. Now it's not done anymore, but I really like it because I think it's super fancy. Not gonna actually kill the boss though. So that was an outdated skip. Now let's see a new skip that I just didn't do because practicing is hard. And I was talking about during the run how quitting the game is broken. I'm gonna manage to get out of bound just by quitting the game. So when two areas are like right next to each other, so right now I'm like in Undead Berg, and this is the depth. So this is like two different places, and if I quit the game, could you, oops, mouse? Okay, if I quit the game like right above here, then I'm gonna be like in Undead Berg, but technically in the depth, so it's just not gonna load quickly enough. Might not get it first try, but if I just quit out here like this, hopefully. Nah. So like I said, I never practice. It's consistent, I'm just bad. You just like walk over those planks. And before I get stuck there for 10 minutes. Yeah, it's not gonna be awkward. I'm not sure if I need to walk that far back. I need to quit out later, I think. This saves 18 seconds in all bosses, by the way. So it's very good. Always some people in the chat telling me like, don't quit out here, do it like that, Capitaine, you're bad. I know.
So far it's fine.
There we go. So just by quitting the game, you're casually out of bounds. So now I can just jump here and, oh, stuff loads and then it deloads and I just jump here and then, oh, it loads back again. Go here. Go over there. Stuff loads finally. And here I can clip it back inbound. And now I can like jump over this railing, quit the game. Like I said, I can jump over this railing. Never mind. So this is where the Gaping Dragon is. So you would do that after Capra Demon. Now, instead of like running around like I did. That's... By jumping over the railing and quitting the game before I hit the ground, it's just gonna save my position to be on the railing. Now I can just jump here. And you're at like Gaping Dragon. Except that I'm probably gonna die because I don't have RTSR and do no damage. Yeah, there we go. It's okay. That was like the out of bound that I wanted to show. Alright. So that was some old skips, out of bounds. That's nothing. Let me introduce you to the world of flexing. So flexing is not the official name. The runner that discovered this glitch is called Flex, so we call it flexing. The real boring name is equip slot manipulation. So there is a leftover mechanic in this game that comes from Demon Souls, a game that released like 2 years before that, that makes that you're not supposed to be able to have an unlimited amount of items in your inventory, but for Dark Souls 1, instead of removing that mechanic, they just increased the weight by like a lot. But with quantity storage, I managed to buy 999 pikes at once, and now this pike is so heavy that my inventory is full. So this is a state that you call crammed, because you cannot take any new items in your inventory. And the side effect of that is that if I have a ring, and I try to remove it, I get like dialogue, and then just... Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, by doing an animation and trying to equip something on my menu while the animation is happening, I can equip weapons or armors in slot that I'm not supposed to be able to do it. So for example, this is the helmet slot, when I can equip helmets. For example, this crown does, this crown. But this is the chest part, so I cannot equip a helmet here. But if I do some fancy things like that, now I have a helmet on my chest. And the side effect is that the chest becomes invisible and I have 2 chests. So I can do that again by... Now we're gonna put the sunlight maggots, so that makes a bit of light. Now I don't have hands anymore. Wait, it needs an animation that's a bit longer. Now we're gonna put the mimic head. And also, fun fact, my haircut, you can't see it here, but my haircut is actually an armor slot. So I can do the glitch to replace my haircuts. So now I can put the 5th helmet, which is the big hat. So yeah, I have 5 helmets and I'm invisible. So this is totally normal. Also, the helmet is slowly draining my life, so I'm quickly gonna enable to cheat so I don't die. I'm cheating. There we go. But that's not all. So now what I can do is I can equip weapons on my arrow slots, and in order to do that I need to do it a bit differently. So I need to do it by falling. So I'm gonna open the weapons. Oh, no, wait, I need to open it back out and then do that. And now I can put Smo's hammer on my back. Now I have like Smo's hammer where my arrows would normally be. This is totally normal. Now I can do it here. And I can put Avalyn. Now I have like a crossbow and yeah. So, and the hilarious thing about this is that if I have a bow, the hammer is considered an arrow. So if I shoot, it's gone. And it's actually gone. Like it's, if I go in my inventory, it's actually gone. Like you shot a hammer as, okay. And the most amazing thing about this is that if you do it with a crossbow this time, so here I'm gonna go to Blighttown. I have no idea why, but if you're poisoned and you have a crossbow as an arrow, I can just shoot the crossbow, and it cured my poison. Now I'm not poisoned anymore. I have no idea why, but yeah, shooting crossbow with a crossbow cures poison. That's the gist of it. Alright, so that's flexing. Believe it or not, this glitch actually has a practical use. So I'm gonna show the next glitch with a terrible name. So this is called poop walking, unfortunately, but you will understand why very quickly.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the RTSR, the ring that was like super overpowered that I kept talking during the run, you can actually use ESM to do it, to get it. So if I check my rings right now, I don't have the red T-stone ring, but with the same glitch that I talked about, that I just showed you, I can just do that, and now it appears. So that's like the practical use in speedrun, is that you don't actually need to get the ring. Alright, so now for poop walking. Wait, is it this? It's this one. Alright, so now on my right hand, I equipped an unvalid weapon. And the side effect of that is if I try to parry, I get a T-pose. Because it does a T-pose. And what I can do is, if I do this T-pose on a very precise frame of the animation, I didn't get it. So this is frame perfect, so I might... No. If I get the T-pose, I'm too early. Too early. There we go. What's happening with the animation? So this is why it's called poop walking, because yeah. So every animation that I'm doing right now is halved for some reason. Like this is. So for example, if I whip Simo's hammer and I do an R2. Okay. This is normal. Yeah. Okay. And the practical use of that is that crossing a fog gate to fight a boss is actually just an animation. So now this animation is not going to go as far, it's only going to do half the distance. So I'm going to cross the fog gate, but I'm not going to cross it far enough for the boss to notice me, so I'm like stuck inside the fog gates. And I can just like shoot. Oh. So yeah, you can kill bosses without them doing anything. Because normally when you attack it, like it would just start aggroing you, but now it doesn't. There we go. Although, to be fair, the most fun part is that like the animations. So just look at that. And the other use that you can have of poop walking is with ladders. So again, I know a terrible name, but this actually has a practical use in 100%. Again, climbing a ladder is just an animation, and when you climb a ladder from the top, you do like a 180 degrees. So like here, you like when you climb the ladder, you just do 180 degrees. So if you do that while being poop walked, so let me just do it again. So here we go, invalid weapon again. Yeah, it's frame perfect. There we go. Well, now if I just try to go ladder, it's... and I'm out of bounds. So, well, I have cheats right now, so I'm gonna survive the upcoming fall. But you could just do that as well normally, but here you can just like jump here, and you should fall into the depth. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm in the depth. So yeah, practical use of it by like poop walking in front of a ladder, you can just casually go out of bounds. And this is actually used in some speedruns, so yeah. Alright, that's all I have, I think. So, time, I guess. Oh, just in time. So yeah, this game is cool. It's broken. Don't speedrun the remaster. It's like the same thing, but with less glitches. So just don't. It's more expensive. It has less glitches. Why would you ever do that? But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for having me here. And I don't know what's next actually. It's Witness. we have the witness next. Alright, thanks so much everyone, and bye-bye.